A few days ago, I found a spider in my freezer, so I did the only logical thing and decided to preserve it in a block of resin. I'm starting by supergluing the legs together and pinning it down with needles. Once the superglue dried, I can carefully take the pins off of the spider. Although I managed to get superglue all over the needles, I don't think I glued the legs enough because they were still flimsy. However, I decided to roll with it anyways, and I managed to get the spider lying nicely. Then, I poured a thin layer of epoxy resin to put the spider in. I let that layer of resin dry until it was tacky, but not too solid, before adding a second layer of resin. After the resin dried, I cracked the spider out of the makeshift mold. Here's the spider. It looks pretty good. One of the sides is kind of wonky, but I'm hoping that'll get fixed when I sand it. There is a layer line, but it's pretty hard to see. I cleaned up the edges with a knife and began sanding. To sand resin, you'll want to change the direction you're sanding in every time you change your grit. For example, I'm starting sanding left to right using a 120 grit sandpaper. I'll then switch to a 300 grit and sand north and south. I'll repeat that process until I make my way up to 3000 grit sandpaper. After the first couple grits of sandpaper, you'll want to apply water on your sandpaper to avoid clumping. Now I tried to polish it, but didn't come out looking as clear as I wanted it to, so back to the sandpaper. Ideally, by the end of your sanding process, you won't be able to see any sandpaper lines. so there it is. It turned out pretty good for my first try. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you think I could do better, or if you have any questions about the process. Thanks, bye.